Hello, flight simmers. This is your captain speaking. In this video and the next few videos that I'll be doing, I'm going to be taking a look at Little Navmap in order to help those who are trying to use it for the first time. Little Navmap can be quite overwhelming when you first start using it, and I hope with these videos I can help the user get over some of those initial hindrances that can crop up. There's a lot to it, but it's not difficult to use. And so let's start taking a look at Little Navmap today. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the interface and describing various parts of it so that the user can get familiar with it. There are several different sections on the interface to consider, and if you get an idea of what each of these does, then it's a little easier to use. Let's start over here. Let's start with the obvious. You have the main menu at the top that has a number of submenus like file, flight plan, map, etc. And each of these goes to various areas and features that are used within the application. We'll not look at every one of them. It would take us a long time to look at each one of these maps, but if there's anything here that you have a question about that you're unable to figure out on your own or can't find help somewhere else, just let me know and I'll do what I can to help out in that area. Below the menu are interface buttons. These are shortcuts to various areas that are within the menu for things that you might want to do very often. And we'll try to look at some of these so that you'll know what they are. And they're divided into sections to kind of organize these things. Up here in the top left in this first section, there are some file menu items. This is to create a new empty flight plan. This will open a flight plan. It actually opens a dialog box so that you can open a flight plan. This will save the flight plan. And this is a multi-export button to save a flight plan to multiple formats. And this is the one that you would use, for example, if you wanted to save it to one particular flight simulator program, you would set that up within the application, then click this button, and it would save it to that simulator's format. This application is a reset button that resets a number of things within the application, so that you can start fresh on the current menu item. Say if you've started a new flight plan and you decided you wanted to start over, you could just come here and recreate it. Just delete everything and recreate the flight plan. Here's another section, a home button. To go to the home view, if I click this will take me to Pearland Regional Airport that I've set up as my home airport. This button will go to the center mark. This is a mark that's defined within the map that you want to do searches for. Currently, I have it set up to McCarran International Airport in Las Vegas. This button will center the flight plan on center the flight plan on the map. We don't have a flight plan right now, so it's grayed out. And this button will center the simulator aircraft on the map. We're not connected to a simulator. Clicking this will only cause it to center when the simulator is connected. Then a little further on, there's back button, the forward button. Go back to the last place you were at on the map. Go forward to the previous place you were on the map. Then there are some buttons here to change the number of details on the map. You can get more detail or less detail, or just go back to the default detail on the map. These buttons will change the type of aircraft that are on the map. This one, for example, let's just show empty airports on the map. Turn that off. Show airports with soft or water runways on the map. We'll turn that off. And show airports with hard runways on the map. We'll turn that off. And now the only thing that we have showing are airports that are add-on airports within the map. And we'd probably have to zoom out quite a ways in order to see any of these. Here's one, KLAX is an add-on, one of the default add-ons in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And let's see if there are any more in the area. Don't see any. The default, the add-on airports will have a yellow circle around them on the map, but there are not a whole lot of them unless you purchased some, and so we don't see very many on the map in this area. You've got to do some searching around to find them. I know that we've got some. Here's another one, Atlanta, and I know that there's one here in Florida, and I believe that's Orlando. And let's see here, KFJ. Okay, so we've only looking. So I'm interested in the ones with the hard runways. So we'll have both of these selected, and that'll show us all the airports that have hard runways and that are add-on airports on the map. These are navigation aids showing on the map. We can select to see them or not to see them, depending upon what we're doing. We'll just go ahead and click some of these off. I'm going to want to look at ILS, so we'll keep those turned on. Then other features on the map like range rings, user points. So we don't necessarily need to see any of those, so we'll just select none. I don't think there are very many on there anyway. Simulator aircraft, I believe this includes the individual's aircraft, so we want to keep that one selected. And the aircraft trail, keep that selected. This one show a compass around the aircraft. And then show the AI multi-user. And we'll turn that off for now. Show country and city names. We can have it do hill shading. This is only enabled for certain maps. The Open Topo map does not have it, for example. I think we could change it to some of these, and some of these I think would have it. Here we go. Open Street Map. We can turn it on for Open Street Map. I'll come back here to the topo map. Show minimum altitudes on the map. This will show the minimum altitudes in the various sectors along the map. This one shows airport weather icons for the the map, and I haven't been able to see any difference when I select that or deselect that. So someone might know what that is, what that's for, but I've never been able to find these weather icons in the map. It may be because of the way I have it set up within the application. I don't know. Wind forecast altitude levels to display. You can set it up to show the ground wind, or you can do it flat plan. At the cruise altitude, this would show you the uh, weather feathers at along the route that you've selected at 5,000 feet and so on. You can have it set. Let's put it on the ground, and then I think maybe that's only going to show us when we have a. No, here we go. We have some airspeed indicators now on the screen. So we'll turn that off, get rid of some of the clutter. And so those are what those icons are for. And down here in the next one, we have some more icons. We can undo a change on the flight plan, redo a change, select the start position for a flight plan departure. Not exactly sure how that works. And enable or disable the flight plan edit mode on the map. You can change, you can make changes to the flight plan by selecting locations on the map and creating user points for those if this is enabled. Create a new flight plan from a route description. So if you have a route description, you can create a flight plan here. And calculate a direct flight plan, calculate or reverse a flight plan, or you can calculate a flight plan between departure and destination airports. And we'll show how this works in a little while. Then along here we have this button that will maximize the map and hide all the others. So if I click this, it maximizes the map to the full screen, or to the full window size anyway. And I guess it is a full screen, so it'll cover everything on your window. And that way you can see only the map on the window, and exit by clicking this button and bring it back here. Then open and show the search dock window. And if the search dock window is open, it will close it. So now the search dock window is closed. Click it again, and it creates the search dock window, and now we have the search dock window. Then we open or show the flight planning dock window. This here. Open or show the flight plan calculation dock window. That's this window right here. And we'll be using this a little bit later on when we create a new flight plan. Then we have open or show the information dock window, this window right down here. Open or show the flight plan elevation profile. This is the window right down here. You'll see how this is used a little bit later. Open or show the simulator aircraft dock window, and that's this window here. So if we click the simulator dock window, that will also close the search windows because they're both within the same window. Click it again, and it brings it back up. So now we have the search window and the simulator window showing. And then here we open or show the legend dock window. This window is usually not open, and it's a window that overlaps. I don't believe you can dock it. No, you can dock it, but it's by default it's not docked, and I don't want to dock it. And this is the map legend and the Navmap legend. Not real familiar with these windows, so not sure how they work. Highlight user features shows various parts of the map and how to understand it. So let's close that. And then we have all of these icons that will show various types of airspaces on. You can select the type of airspaces that are viewable, and so on. So we have a bunch of these. This is the one I use the most. show or hide all airspaces. You click that, that will hide all the airspace on the window, get rid of a lot of clutter on the window. If you're flying, you probably want to keep these, especially if you're doing VFR. You probably want to keep these open so that you know when you get close to an airspace that you need to transition. Then there's a couple of drop-down boxes here that you can select either the Mercator map type or the spherical map type. Mercator map type looks like this, and it just looks like a flat map. Whereas we just lost our map, sorry. Whereas the spherical map looks like a sphere, and you can bring it open, and in the zoomed in view, there's not a lot of difference between them. They'll look almost identical to one another, so you can see the difference here, not very much at all. And then there are several different types of maps that are available by default. I believe these can be added to, but I'm not familiar with that, so I can't say for sure what can be done. Finally, here there's a place to connect or disconnect from the simulator. This button is to start the load scenery dialog box. You'll want to do this when you first open a simulator, when you first start a simulator on the machine, or whenever you change the simulator data. And for example, I have Microsoft Flight Simulator set up. My Flight Simulator base path is here. And I would click load, and it would go through and read the database in Microsoft Flight Simulator for use within Little Navmap. And I just did this earlier today, so I don't need to do it again. It took me about 5 minutes to do this. You might have to look on your computer to find the location. The location is in the well, you'll have to look on your computer, which is a little bit unusual. This is a little bit unusual for mine because I have a shortcut to the simulator location. Generally, when you install the application, your application location will look something like this. And see if I can find exactly where this is. Been a while since I've been to the full location. Let's see. If I click on that and look at properties, maybe that will tell me where it's at. No. Oh, let's see. No. Here we go. Is that it? No, that's not it. Well, it's been so long, I have completely forgotten where I've installed Microsoft Flight Simulator. I should be able to see it here. Let's see what happens if I go there. It is not going to show me location. Here it is. No, that's something else. Yeah, I know it's on this drive, but I have completely forgotten, and I'm not seeing it on within the window. Oh, here. Here we go. Uh, on my D drive, because I moved it to my D drive into a directory I call WP System, it created this directory and this directory underneath it, and that directory, and that directory, and then finally this directory into, and so this is the root of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And some applications, when I try to install applications within here, the applications would balk because of the length of the file name, or the length of the directory name was longer than 255 characters. So what I did was to create I created this directory, which is a simulation, a symlink to the root of my application, and then in Little Navmap, I pointed to D. There's the symlink, and then local cache packages to where the data is found for Little Navmap, and that's how I got to that. I can give perhaps sometime another video on how to create a symlink. If you're having difficulty like that, let me know, and I'll create a video to show how to create a symlink to help you out in that area. So those are the buttons up here at the top. Also, we have a button here to open up the options, and you might want to go through here and set up various options for the way that the way you like to use the application. Get familiar with the application first, and then come through here and try to change things up to your own desires. Now let's look at the various panels within the application. The flight planning panel is used to create a flight plan. It has several tabs within it that are useful. The flight plan is the plan itself. Flight plan remarks are remarks that you make about the plan that you have created. A fuel report is a report on the aircraft that is currently loaded within the simulator for the flight. And once your flight plan is created, this will tell you how much fuel you need in order to complete the flight. Current performance tells you how you're doing so far within a flight. And we'll show how all of this works together when we get a flight plan created and get in the aircraft and run it. Then there's an information window down here that shows you various information for the airport. Under the airport tab are a number of different tabs here for various kinds of information. Currently, the San Luis County Regional Airport has been selected for information, so I can look down here and I can see the kind of runways it has. This tells us that it has a lighted runway, at least one lighted runway, and we get information, weather information from this. It tells us what the longest runway is, comm frequencies, what kind of parking is available at the runway, where the scenery comes from within the application. And these links will open up links in your browser for this particular airport. So this tells you various things about it. We can also see the runway that's preferred under the weather section, the preferred runway for this airport. Then there is more specific information on the runways. more detailed information. It tells us information about the comm frequencies that are available, procedures that are available for the runway, airports that are near the airport that you have selected. We can see what the weather is. Currently, the weather for San Luis County is IFR conditions, and this also tells us the best runways for the wind, and so on. Then we also have information for nav aids. You have to select a nav aid up here and ask it to give you information. Let me see if I can find, we turned off nav aids up here, but let's see if I can find one. We'll come over here to, I'm not seeing it right now. So maybe I have to have the nav aids turned on to do it. But you can get information on nav aids. You can get information on airspaces, user points, logbooks. In order to get information, this information, you're going to have to select the information somewhere here and say show. And so if I come over here and I look at my logbook under the search menu, and I right click on one of the log entries, I'm going to show information. And so this shows me the information on this entry. And the logbook entry is from Rohrenbach to Juan Mendoza in South America. And this is various information on that particular logbook information. Online clients, you have to be connected to something like VATSIM or Pilot Edge in order to get information here. But you would find that up here and you would select something there and you would say, show me the information on that, and so on. So we're not selected, so I can't demonstrate. We're not connected to those things, so I can't demonstrate the online centers. But that's the information tab. Then, of course, we have the map section here. And then below these panels, we have the flight plan elevation profile. When you have a flight plan created, you'll have a profile, a flight plan elevation profile here to show you what the altitude or the minimum altitudes are. How high is the ground in the certain location? What are the minimum altitudes that are safe? Over on the right, let's see if I can get a little more space over here. We have the search window, and we can search on airports, nav aids, procedures, user points, logbook entries, online clients, so etc. And then simulator aircraft, we can have information about the aircraft in the simulation. We can see its progress, a multiplayer progress for selected aircraft if you're using that feature within your simulator. And so those are the various parts of Little Navmap. In our next video, we're going to create a flight plan from scratch, and we'll show how to do that with Little Navmap. So come back, and we'll see you when we run the next video.